Good evening, everyone. It's Sharing Wellness, Promoting Health Wednesday, and it's April, it's spring. I'm in the Midwest, so it was a beautiful spring going on, and then we got about 5 inches of snow, and then that all melted today with the freeze warning tonight. So they always say if you don't like the weather in the Midwest, don't worry, it'll change within 24 hours, and I think they're probably right. So April is Stress Awareness Month. So the information I'm sharing with you is educational. So I bet you're saying, I'm not stressed, because everybody doesn't think they're stressed. But when something interrupts our routine or things in our daily habits change, stress usually follows. So many times newness and uncertainty can create a feeling of uneasiness for many of us. And it also can create a feeling of anxiety. So many people that are stressed may notice some of these symptoms. They're low on energy, they have headaches, they have an upset stomach, including diarrhea, constipation, and nausea. Many of you are familiar with IBS, irritable bowel. You may have lots of aches and pains and very tense muscles. You may notice that your chest feels tight or you have a rapid heartbeat, and you may have trouble sleeping. So stress is actually a good thing for our body. It's a defense mechanism. It's a normal reaction, and it's designed to help our body protect us when we're under physical or emotional threat or attack. So when an emotional threat or attack occur, our nervous system helps us cope. So we have two parts to our nervous system, central and peripheral. Central would be our brain and spinal cord. Peripheral would be all the nerves that branch off from our spinal cord to the rest of our body, as well as the autonomic nervous system. And that's the system that kind of functions without us knowing about it. So it has the sympathetic, parasympathetic, and enteric part, and it basically oversees all our internal organs. So the sympathetic system is our fight or flight, which increases our breathing, our heartbeat, or dilates our pupils, slows down our digestion and elimination. And the parasympathetic helps maintain normal body functions, breathing, heartbeat. Do we have to go to the bathroom? Do we not have to go to the bathroom? And the enteric is the gastrointestinal tract. You've probably heard that our stomach's like our second brain. So when one area of the autonomic nervous system is more active, the other area is less active. And they work to balance each other out, and all three sections are always working. So our nervous system actually communicates through little neurons, and they communicate via electrical and chemical signals from cell to cell, switching from electrical to chemical as they travel. Our neurons aren't attached by anything, and there's spaces between them throughout the body, and that space is known as a synapse. And these signals travel through that synapse from cell to cell. It also communicates with other cells throughout our body as well, including glial cells, which help to support, protect, repair, and insulate all the little neurons, or the myelin, which helps these impulses travel. So when we feel threatened or scared, whether it's physical or emotional, or we're under pressure, real or perceived, our fight or flight survival response kicks in. And the alarm begins in the brain, and the brain activates the nervous system, starting in the adrenal glands, producing epinephrine, aka adrenaline, which is pumped into our bloodstream, creating an increased pulse rate, blood pressure, rapid breathing, and our senses go on high alert, allowing our body the ability to react quickly. Eventually, this surge of adrenaline subsides, and if our body still feels threatened, the HPA axis, known as the hypothalamus and the pituitary and adrenal glands, release hormones that tell the body to produce cortisol. When the HPA axis is alerted and activated, it keeps our body on alert, and eventually, hopefully, when the real or perceived stress is over, everything goes back to normal. But when we keep replaying this situation in our mind, it keeps activating that stress response. And then stress can become chronic, and that's a problem. And chronic stress is really the real or perceived threat that continues way beyond when the actual stress event occurred. So when our body's in this chronic stress, it increases our risk for heart disease, heart attacks, strokes, obesity, type 2 diabetes, headaches, problems sleeping, chest pain, muscle tension and pain, fatigue, and stomach problems. Our gut-brain axis is connected to our brain through millions of neurons, our immune system, and the vagus nerve. So when we're under stress, the neurons traveling through our vagus nerve become less active, which is what can cause issues with your gastrointestinal health. So our gut microbiome also produces many of the same neurotransmitters as our brain, such as serotonin, just to name one. And our gut microbes also produce SCFA, and that affects brain function. So our gut microbes have a huge role in our immune system and subsequent inflammation by working to control what passes into the body through the intestinal barrier. So these problems can also lead to chronic inflammation, and you've heard of, Alzheimer's and type 3 diabetes and depression. So stress has a huge impact on our body, the immune system, the gut-brain relationship, our glandular cortisol, which affects our weight, creates inflammation. So how are we going to manage it? So tip number 1, maintain a routine. When you have a routine, it promotes less stress and better sleep. So create a daily routine for yourself. Me, I get up in the morning, I exercise, I use my Soaky bed, I take a shower, I get dressed, I usually have juice or a protein shake, and I keep a schedule. Even though I work at home, I have office hours at home, I have a lunch break, I have an afternoon break, I keep a schedule. Also, try to make sure that you're getting good sleep. So listen to some relaxing music, use some oils, again, create a sleep routine, turn off the news, turn off the TV, turn off anything stimulating that's going to affect your sleep. You also want to get up and get moving because, believe it or not, exercise is a great way to let go of some steam. It doesn't have to be strenuous. All you have to do is move your body and have some fun with it. Take a walk outside, dance around the house, work in the yard. Because when you exercise, you produce the good feeling hormones, which help make you happier and relieve stress. You also may want to try deep breathing for tip number 4. And it really works when we want to calm down and turn off the fight or flight response of our nervous system. Our body really needs oxygen, and when we're stressed, we're not breathing deeply. So if you can take a few minutes and breathe in through your nose and then out through your nose or your mouth in a relaxing pattern of like into the count of 4 or 7, take a little break, and hold and then out. That's really going to increase your oxygen intake, and it's also going to relax your nervous system. And tip number 5, vent. Find someone to talk to. Let it go, share it, and release it. Okay? So pick up the phone, call your BFF or family member, ask them if they have time to listen to you vent, and then just let it go and release it. You also may want to try some essential oils. I love to diffuse oils. I'll put them on my wrist, I'll put them on my chest where I can smell them, because our sense of smell really influences our mood because it goes through that same pathway. So I like flowers for calming and relaxing, and citrus oils for giving us energy and promoting sunshine, because when I smell citrus, I think of sun. And you can also combine them. So some of my favorite flowers and essential oils are lavender, neroli, rose, ylang-ylang, and jasmine. And some of my favorite citrus scents for stress are bergamot, sweet orange, and lemon. They're very uplifting, they're very energizing, they're very happy. So you may want to pick your favorite flower or pick your favorite citrus and diffuse them, combine them, and just relax. There's also a lot of herbs that can help you. L-theanine really can help with anxiety and stress. And then there's a calming blend that I love of B vitamins, vitamin C, schizandra fruit, valerian, and passion flower and hops, which really supports the body and supports the adrenals during stress. Ashwagandha is a well-known herb that really helps and supports the body under stress. And then many of you may have stomach issues when you're under stress, and I have some favorite herbal combinations to promote intestinal health and gut health. So if you're interested in learning more about these herbs, send me a private message and I'll let you know what they are. You also may want to stay hydrated and add some water to your day, because you know your body needs a lot of water to stay hydrated and to function. And a lot of times when you're under stress, you're using a lot of energy by the body and it needs much more water. So drink some water. If you're not fancy to water, add some herbal teas, like green tea offers antioxidants and polyphenols, which can also help reduce inflammation and combat free radicals. There's also teas you can drink at night to help you relax and sleep. Not only will the teas help you with your mood and some nutrients, but it's also going to keep you hydrated. When you're under stress, this isn't the time to give the body more stimulants like tons of caffeine and tons of sugar. So, focus on eating lean meats, whole foods, fruits and veggies. Grab a piece of fruit with some nuts, grab some raw veggies to snack on. Add fresh fruit to your plain yogurt. Make yourself a green smoothie. Make yourself a protein smoothie. So, watch what you're eating, and cut off caffeine at 3 o'clock, because that's going to affect your sleep and that's going to, keep you overly stimulated. And the other thing I like to do, my favorite thing to do, besides the oils and the herbs, is to use the Soki product, the Chi Machine, the Domes, the E-Power, the ERE. They're very balancing. Traditional Chinese medicine is all about balance. If you have too much energy, it's about calming you down. If you need energy, it's about giving the body energy. They're great to use. It gives you 20-30 minutes to take time to breathe, listen to some relaxing music, and warm up. So I hope this helps you understand how stress impacts the whole body, and the herbs and the oils and the lifestyle habits you can implement to help you better manage stress. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. We'll be talking about another TCM element. So have a great week. Thanks.